let's shift our interests across the pond, Leslie. I don't know if you have heard this yet. This is exclusive out of Kensington Palace. Kate has finally spoken. Let's go now. This was a bit of her press conference.
Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales.
Good morning, everyone. People often ask me why I focus my
Camera!
And I'm grateful to those of you who have shared your experiences of
Photoshop!
with me here today. Thank you.
I'm just shocked they released that very true footage. They've got a great team there at Kensington Palace. But never fear, let's get to the bottom of it. We have a pop culture expert. She focuses on the royals. This is Lauren Finney Harden. Good morning, Lauren. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Welcome to the show. Now, I know you write for outlets like In Style, Southern Living. You're all over the place doing TikTok trends, and you have a job doing that, which is pretty
kind of a cool job,
awesome.
I would say, Lauren. Yes.
Exhausting at times, but yes, it is very fun.
Where do you live, Lauren?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, let's break this crap down, because what is happening? The Kate, it started with that photo. Do you believe it is that Vanity Fair or Vogue, whatever it was, photo that they're using?
No, I don't. No,
well, it looks exactly like it when you lay it over it.
No, it doesn't. So I have spent,
I think it does,
almost 20 years in magazines. So I can tell by lighting and by the retouching, the good retouching on the Vogue cover and the bad retouching on her personal photo, that they are not the same face.
Well, I guess the problem you get into, was it Vogue?
Yes,
Vogue,
the cover.
That they probably photoshopped that anyway, so it probably looks different. And it was multiple years apart, but I thought when you lay it over, I thought it looked exactly like it.
Interesting, because I was like, with my magazine, I was like, that is not even close.
You've got more cred than I do.
But I think this all started even before that, right, Lauren? Because
it did.
Kate Middleton was in the hospital and for a very long time, and there was all this speculation about why was she in the hospital. So kind of when did that start? You think it started then with all the conspiracy theories about her being in the hospital?
Yes, that was when it kind of like everyone started paying attention. Some conspiracy theorists say that it started actually before that. So she was last seen on Christmas Day when the royals do their little walkabout for the service. And then allegedly an ambulance or something got called to some royal facility a couple days later. Nobody really knows. But the announcement of her having abdominal surgery was on January 17th. Which was also the same day that King Charles announced that he had an enlarged prostate. And so everyone's like, wait, what? Why are these two announcements coming on the same day? That was very unusual.
There are all these conspiracies which are compounding. They think there's trouble in paradise with their marriage. They think that, has she been kidnapped? You're seeing all these ridiculous...
It's out of control.
Why doesn't she just come out and say, hey, moments after the baby was born, she came out with like big old high heels and like was right in front of the press. So we know she's not afraid to go in front of the press. Why won't she?
Why? Exactly.
I have a couple of theories. My favorite one that is 100% not true is that she got fringe, as they say in England, or bangs, and she's just waiting for them to grow out.
No way.
Bad.
That's kind of silly.
I know. Or that they're weekend at Bernieing her and they're just like propping her up and she's not really, people think that she's died. I think she really did have surgery, whether that was abdominal might be just like a very pleasant way of talking about maybe her intestines or her bowels or her colon or something like that. So I think that's what's really going on. And I think that the royal family, being as established as they are actually really terrible communicators.
We saw that in just watching The Crown.
Yeah, exactly. And the houses don't really necessarily talk to each other. So the fact that King Charles and Kate had an announcement come out the same day is weird, but it's not that unusual. I feel like there was some sort of miscommunication here.
It did seem odd, though, because they're so scheduled and so programmed. It'd be kind of weird. It was almost like they're trying to bury one of them or confuse people with one of them. I do have a friend who just had a similar surgery, and I know that friend, they said they have to be in the bed for, I think, 8 weeks. So it is a thing. Abdominal surgery, that's no joke. So maybe it is just that. But still, why wouldn't they figure out a way it's been several weeks now. It's been over a month since the surgery, if that's it. Why couldn't they just get a chest up shot of her saying, hey, everybody, chill, I'm fine?
Yeah, so what I've heard that if you have some of these abdominal intestinal surgeries is that some of the medication can really bloat you. And so if there's that picture that may or may not be her with her mother in the car doing school drop-off, apparently school people have seen her. And apparently she is cooking dinner for her family. So she is healing. She is at home. People who need to know. But I've heard that some of these medications and the recovery can bloat you. And of course, she's a princess. She doesn't want to be seen like that. And I also think that princesses, they don't want to talk about their insides. One of my friends was like, but the king was talking about his prostate. I'm like, it's
exactly.
very different.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yes. We're talking to Lauren Finney Harden. She writes for InStyle, Southern Living, following all these trends on TikTok. What do you make of her coming out and saying, it was like a Photoshop fail? Was that real? Like, did that really happen, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think that she or somebody on her team or both really messed up. And it's not the first time that they've done it. I went back and looked at the last Photoshop fail they had where Louis is missing a finger.
That's right. I remember that one. Yes.
So it's happened before. It happens to all of us. Every magazine cover you see, every influencer photo you see is not straight reality. Everyone photoshops everything. I think this was a particularly bad one, a particularly poor timed one. And this is why I think that the royal family is out of touch, not because they live in castles and have billions of dollars, but because they don't understand how people on the ground think. And I think they were grossly unprepared to have all of us pick all of us apart the way that we have.
That is weird, though, that someone with billions of dollars and every service and servant that you need can't find a lad to work Photoshop. You know what I mean? And,
Yes.
and then the clearances, it has to go through so many people. And that photo just hits the ground. It was almost like it's so bad it seems planned.
Yeah, I think it goes through less people than we think. I think that their PR team is the best of the best in an old school sense. They need like a 25-year-old who's very savvy about all of this kind of stuff to be like, wait a second, the internet's going to go wild. And I don't think that they have that. So I think even though their motto is usually never complain, never explain, I think they're going to have to do some explaining of some sort here eventually.
They probably have some 90-year-old dude that does Photoshop. They're like, Alfred, Alfred,
he's
what
been
have you
there
done?
forever.
Yeah,
Exactly.
forever.
But he's got some like royal, moniker name. He's I don't even know what. He's got a seal on his
funny.
letterhead.
Well, Lauren, since you follow TikTok trends, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you, what's one of your favorite right now?
I love the one of the kids and either the dads, moms, or grandparents. There's like a song where like a 20-something-year-old is standing and like singing a song, and the grandparents or the parents like come scurrying across the screen, and they're wearing like hats or they're like doing funny dances, and it's like millions and millions and millions of views. As much of TikTok gets such a bad rap for being like a terrible place, but like the multi-generational like creativity and, getting families to do these sorts of trends together, I love it. And I think other people do. That's why some of these videos have like 10, 15 million views.
It's true.
The ones I'm sick of are the ones where everyone's lying. You don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. The liars. Like lying is such a trend.
Yeah.
And the one, it's like, hey, I'm Barnes. I work at 99X. Of course I get free concert tickets. Like, those are just
terrible,
corny as hell.
Yeah. It started out funny. I can't even remember what the first one was, but now it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It is funny. All right. So, when she surfaces, it's going to be funny to see what Kate was doing. She's just going to pop up. They're going to screw that up. What's her big reveal going to be, you think? How do they roll her back out?
Well, I read something today that, she said she would be back after Easter. And so everyone is assuming that is at Easter. But the kids apparently don't go back to school until like April 17th or something like that. So I think that it's actually going to be even longer before we see her.
Wow.
There's not going to be like a hard date like Easter. Here she is. And I think that they are really, this is kind of a crisis in the monarchy, and that they have to figure out a new communication strategy. So I don't think they're going to say like, she had colitis, or I don't think they're going to get that into it.
They're going to lie, and they're going to get caught.
Lauren, we need another season of The Crown. It can't end.
What is it, season 7?
Yeah, get some of that Meghan Markle drama in there. You've got all this new stuff with Kate. That would be a season I would definitely watch. All right, Lauren Finney Harden, writer with Southern Living in Style. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank y'all.